Manager denied service to a black woman in front of everyone minutes later. His career was over. Vanessa Harris stood in the gleaming showroom of Sterling Motors, the most exclusive luxury car dealership in the city. The pristine white floors reflected the afternoon sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. A magnificent red Rolls-Royce sat in the center of the room like a crown jewel. Vanessa was 35 years old, wearing an elegant cream-colored business suit. She had worked for 15 years to get to this moment. 15 years of building her tech company from nothing. 15 years of sacrifice and determination. And today, she was going to buy her dream car with cash. She approached the red Rolls-Royce, running her hand gently along its perfect curves. The spirit of ecstasy, whose ornament caught the light. This was it. This was the car. "Excuse me, ma'am," a sharp voice cut through her thoughts. "That vehicle is not for you." Vanessa turned to see a man in his early 40s approaching. He wore an expensive navy suit and had perfectly styled hair. His name tag read Derek Morrison, sales manager. His face carried an expression of disdain that Vanessa recognized all too well. "I am sorry," Vanessa said calmly, though her heart began to pound. "This is a Rolls-Royce Phantom," Derek said slowly, as if speaking to a child. "It costs $400,000. Perhaps you would be more comfortable at one of our partner dealerships down the street. They have very nice used vehicles." The other salespeople in the showroom had stopped what they were doing. Customers who had been browsing now watched. The air grew thick with tension. Vanessa kept her voice steady. "I am aware of the price. I would like to purchase this vehicle today." Derek let out a condescending laugh. "Ma'am, I do not think you understand. This is not the kind of car you just walk in and buy. Our clientele here are CEOs, celebrities, people of a certain caliber, and I am not," Vanessa asked quietly. "Let us not waste each other's time," Derek said, his voice rising. "I can tell by looking at you that you cannot afford this car. Maybe you saw it on social media and wanted to take some pictures, but this is a place of business. Security, please remove this woman from the premises." The humiliation washed over Vanessa in waves. Every person in that showroom was watching her be judged, dismissed, and removed based solely on the color of her skin. It was 2023, yet here she stood, experiencing the same prejudice her grandmother had faced 60 years ago. Two security guards approached hesitantly. They looked uncomfortable, but they moved toward Vanessa nonetheless. "Is there a problem here?" A new voice entered the scene. An older gentleman in his 60s had emerged from one of the back offices. He wore an impeccable suit and moved with the quiet authority of someone who had spent a lifetime in business. "No problem at all, Mr. Chen," Derek said smoothly. "Just removing someone who wandered in off the street. Nothing to concern yourself with." Mr. Chen looked at Vanessa, then at Derek, then at the crowd of onlookers. His expression was unreadable. "And what exactly has this woman done to warrant removal?" Mr. Chen asked. "She cannot afford to be here," Derek said confidently. "I was simply protecting our other customers from disruption."
"Did she cause a disruption?"
Mr. Chen asked. "Well, no, but did she damage anything?" "No, but clearly then, on what basis are you removing her?" Derek's face reddened. "Sir, with all due respect, I have been in this business for 15 years. I know our clientele. I know who can and cannot afford our vehicles. This woman does not belong here." Mr. Chen turned to Vanessa. "Ma'am, I apologize for this treatment. My name is David Chen. I own this dealership. Would you please tell me what brought you in today?" Vanessa took a deep breath. She could have left. She could have gone to another dealership. But something in her grandmother's voice echoed in her mind. "Baby girl, never let anyone make you smaller than you are. Stand tall." "My name is Vanessa Harris," she said clearly. "I am the founder and CEO of Harris Tech Solutions. We just completed a successful acquisition that was featured in Forbes last month. I came here today to purchase the Rolls-Royce Phantom with cash. I have the funds ready to transfer immediately." The showroom went completely silent. Derek's face went from red to pale. "Forbes? But I read that article. The CEO's name was V. Harris. I thought he stopped himself, but the damage was done." He had assumed V. Harris was a man. Worse, he had assumed a black woman could not possibly be a successful CEO. Mr. Chen's expression hardened. "Derek, my office." "Now." "Sir, I was just doing my job." "Protecting the integrity of your job is to serve customers with respect and professionalism," Mr. Chen said, his voice like steel. "Not to judge them by their appearance. Not to make assumptions based on prejudice. My father came to this country with nothing. He faced discrimination every single day. He built this business on the principle that every person deserves to be treated with dignity. You just violated everything he stood for." Derek tried to speak, but Mr. Chen held up his hand. "You are fired. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out. You have 30 minutes to collect your personal belongings," the same security guards who had been about to remove. Vanessa now moved toward Derek. The irony was not lost on anyone in the room. Derek's face contorted with rage and desperation. "You cannot do this. I have contracts. I will sue. This is wrongful termination. You denied service to a customer based on racial prejudice," Mr. Chen said calmly. "In front of multiple witnesses, I suggest you leave quietly before I call the police and have you charged with discrimination." Derek looked around the showroom, perhaps hoping for support. He found none. The other employees would not meet his eyes. The customers watched with a mixture of satisfaction and secondhand embarrassment. Derek had no allies here. Not anymore. As security led Derek away, Mr. Chen turned back to Vanessa. "Ms. Harris, I cannot apologize enough for what you experienced here today. This is unacceptable. If you choose to do business elsewhere, I would completely understand." Vanessa looked at the red Rolls-Royce, then at Mr. Chen. She saw genuine remorse in his eyes. She also saw something else, a man who had taken immediate action when confronted with injustice. "Mr. Chen, your father sounds like he was a wise man," Vanessa said. "My grandmother was a lot like that. She used to clean houses for wealthy families in the 1960s. She faced discrimination every day, but never let it make her bitter. She taught me to judge people by their character and their actions, not their words." "Your grandmother sounds remarkable," Mr. Chen said softly. "She was," Vanessa replied. "She also taught me that when someone shows you who they really are through their actions, you should believe them. You just showed me who you are, Mr. Chen. You stood up for what was right, even though it cost you a senior employee. That says everything about your character. Does this mean?" "Yes," Vanessa said with a smile. "I would like to purchase this Rolls-Royce today, right now. And I would appreciate it if you would personally handle the sale." The relief and gratitude on Mr. Chen's face was genuine. "It would be my absolute honor." Over the next hour, Mr. Chen personally processed every detail of the sale. He showed Vanessa features of the car that even the salespeople did not know about. He shared stories about his father and the early days of the dealership. Vanessa shared stories about building her company and the obstacles she had overcome. By the time Vanessa drove away in her new Rolls-Royce, she had not only purchased her dream car, but had made an unexpected friend. Mr. Chen had also gained something valuable, a reminder of why his father had started the business in the first place. That evening, Vanessa posted about her experience on social media, not to shame anyone, but to share a lesson. She wrote about Derek's behavior and Mr. Chen's response. She wrote about how discrimination still exists, but also about how good people still stand against it. The post went viral. Within days, Sterling Motors received hundreds of messages from people thanking Mr. Chen for his integrity. New customers came specifically because they had read about what happened. Business actually increased. Derek, meanwhile, found that his reputation had spread throughout the industry. Other dealerships would not hire him. The story of his discrimination had been witnessed by too many people. His 15-year career was indeed over, not because of one bad day, because he had revealed a character flaw that no amount of sales skill could overcome. 6 months later, Mr. Chen invited Vanessa to speak at a company-wide training session on diversity and inclusion. As she stood before the assembled employees, Vanessa thought about her grandmother and Mr. Chen's father. Two people from different backgrounds who had faced similar struggles. Two people who had taught their children to stand tall and treat others with dignity. My grandmother used to say that character is what you do when you think no one important is watching, Vanessa told the room. Derek Morrison thought I was not important. He thought he could dismiss me without consequence. But here's what he did not understand. Every person is important. Every interaction matters. You never know whose life you might change, whose day you might make better or worse, whose story might inspire others.